Hey, good evening, good Wednesday evening. It's Mondays in the meditation room on Wednesday. Wasn't able to get on live on Monday evening. I had every intention on doing that, but was spending some family time and decided that I didn't want to take time away from the family in order to do that. It might help in the future. I may do more recordings instead of live so that I won't miss Mondays in the meditation room. But I'm also allowing this to be a flow, right? So that I don't feel so stressed about what we're doing, how we're doing it, how we're scheduling, because it's really not meant for that. It's meant for us to have a gathering, a time to support one another and encourage each other on this journey of midlife with the accoutrement of perimenopause and menopause as a part of it. But it's not the only thing that's a part of our lives in this season. As you note, I didn't even play my usual theme song because that's my vibe, or any of that. Just wanted to let it be authentic and um, in the moment. But I did want to just stop and say that it's okay to take a moment. I think I had probably overwhelmed myself with all of my research and all of my reading as it relates to women in midlife and, in particular, Black women. The movement that is afoot to normalize the conversation around menopause and women's menopausal health, perimenopausal health, women's reproductive health. As within the last 5 years or so, especially as they expect somewhere upwards of um, a million women entering into the midlife, menopausal, perimenopausal season of their lives by 2025, which is not far away. And especially with the likes of Oprah and Maria Shriver and Drew Barrymore, or um, who else? Naomi Watts and uh, different Gwyneth Paltrow, different art or stars, quote unquote, who have now really taken up the banner of normalizing menopause. Oprah is doing a whole conversation around it. And not that I don't think she's done it in the past when she hosted her show. I think she talked about some of the symptoms of it, but not as a whole. And she's doing that and then offering a subscription to have access to that conversation. So everyone won't necessarily have access to that conversation unless they become a part of the community. But there's plenty of conversations going on around it. We've been talking about it for the last several years here in Enlightened Woman Tribe, in Mondays in the Meditation Room, and in particular about Black women. There's articles all over. They're not necessarily about Black women in menopause, but women in general. There is a awakening to the fact that this is literally a $600 billion business, and the market is now starting to be flooded with different remedies for menopause, perimenopausal symptoms. Several different companies, none to which, to my knowledge, are necessarily uh, funded and founded by Black women for women, because some of those women that I named earlier literally came together and raised money, millions of dollars, to start companies to address the symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, right? So I read another article today and I think my brain got overloaded. But the questions and the conversations absolutely need to be had. So I'm looking forward to allowing this space to continue to be a space, a safe space where we can learn and love ourselves as we go through this process. One researcher even went to the whole other end of the spectrum and called it a medical crisis, right? Wow. And then somewhere it's being overlooked in medical schools and the whole 9 yards. But one thing I can say, it's absolutely real, and we need to be educated. We need to be intentional. We need to be uh, more responsive to ourselves in this season. So, if you're just deciding to watch this in a moment, let me just stop and at least say, welcome to Mondays in the Meditation Room with Dr. K for Midlife Musings on a Wednesday. And if you missed the very beginning, go ahead and watch the replay again so you could uh, get the original greeting as to why we're doing Mondays on Wednesday. Didn't want the week to go by without having an opportunity to share with you and talk to you, because not only are we normalizing and reimagining and reinventing our lives in this season of midlife, this what I call a rite of passage into the next iteration of you. This is May. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I really wanted to focus on what I've been calling minding your mind in the meditation room. In other words, really paying attention to your mental and emotional well being. Um, NAMI, an organization that really focuses on mental health and mental and emotional well-being, has their theme for the year, more than enough, hashtag more than enough, really helping persons to acknowledge that they are worthy and definitely worthy of healthy emotions and mind. And so I wanted to make sure we talked about that, and I wanted to create creative modalities in minding our minds and taking care of our mental and emotional well-being. So last week, so excited to have had Vanessa Elam Burns on with us as we talked about her healing hikes as a, what I would say, really creative modality of helping yourself to get in touch with yourself, right? To prioritize your emotional, mental well being, to find ways, creative ways to get in touch with yourself. And today I wanted to continue on to talk about, another creative modality in minding our mind, uh, prioritizing our mental and emotional well being, is to create that sacred space to also acknowledge that sense, SCENTS, also affects your mood. To um, light a candle, turn on a diffuser with oils, or literally just take some oils and take a deep breath and inhale them. For instance, it's been said, that peppermint and citrus um, smells can invigorate you, awaken you. If you need to relax, scents like lavender can calm you. I know it helps me to If you've watched or been in Mondays in the meditation room, you know that I love candles, right? And so I realized that it's not just, oh, this is something good to do. We like to put on perfume and smell good, but that it can also be therapeutic when you create the atmosphere and the ambiance for you to relax, to breathe in and breathe out, and to take a moment for yourself. And it can be helped by scents. Why? Because that's one of our five senses gifted to us through the creator, or the olfactory senses is what we breathe in. It can absolutely affect your mood. So I want to encourage you, do some research, try different scents, find the ways that you can um, really hone in and do things to push the envelope of ways that you take care of yourself. And that's what I love about this creative modalities of minding our mind and prioritizing our mental and emotional well-being. Just like music can affect your mood for good or bad or bring up memories, there's certain music and sounds that can help relax you. I know for me, if I'm struggling sometimes in the evening just to de-stress, right? Decompress, I turn on the sounds of the ocean. I am just a water ocean person, right? And it literally works. That soothing white noise. Some people like to listen to rainstorms, or just meditative music because it affects your emotions. It affects your brain, and your brain begins to respond to certain things that help you take a moment. And so I want to encourage you to be okay with taking a moment. There is so much going on in the world, in the global world. There's so much going on in our states, in our communities, and in our schools. And we're constantly bombarded by acts of violence and disregard for our humanity. And if you're not careful, we all will succumb to this level of stress that certainly is affecting our spirit, soul, mind, and bodies. And so I wanted us to talk about things that we can do that don't take a whole lot, right? You can find something you can spray in the air. You can get some lavender spray on your pillow when you're going to sleep. I love the oils that and sprays that Dr. Nika Wilson Brown does. Matter of fact, I usually have mine around and before I meditate sometimes, or spend my time with God and prayer. I often will get a vial of oil, and if I need clarity or wisdom, she has one called Wisdom, and I take a couple of whiffs, anoint myself with it, and then I begin to read or to pray or to study and what it is. And it is so helpful, and I'm so excited that she's going to be working with me soon to create our own signature scent. Yay for the enlightened woman. And I want you to maybe step outside of your comfort zone and buy candles, and to create an atmosphere and allow your mind and your body, like eucalyptus and things like that, to help clear you. There are some florists who will sell you a eucalyptus branch to hang in your shower, and to just take a nice warm shower, or as hot as you can take it, to activate the scent the steam within that natural eucalyptus hanging, or oil, or the new shower tabs that you can put in your shower and let the hot water and the steam just come up into your nostrils. And then you take a moment to just take several deep breaths, and to help you. Why is this so important during this season of midlife and dealing with perimenopause and menopause? Because it brings so many different emotions and so many transitions all at once. So much is going on with your body in this moment. And some of us are still really pushing it. Some of us are in that sandwich generation where we're still concerned with young adult children, trying to help them get on their feet and find their way. And some are also caring for elderly parents, right? And some are caregivers for siblings or nieces and nephews, and in addition to working outside of the house, whether you're working from home or whether you are home, that is, y'all, that is a job as well. Wherever you find yourself in this moment, making decisions about finances and preparing for retirement. It's so much in this season that we have to take into consideration. But I want you to know that you absolutely must. It is imperative that you give yourself a moment. You may not be able to do everything, and you have to learn to be okay with that. You and I have to learn to be okay with that. And even if you change your mind, even you've committed to something, and then you find out that your energy and your mindset will just not allow you to do it, it's okay to change your mind. People who get you and love you and know you will absolutely understand, because it is not healthy for our minds or our spirits to continue to press forward without giving ourselves time, without giving ourselves a moment. And I use the word moment, but it could be longer than a moment. Your moment might be 24 hours. Your moment might be 72 hours. Your moment might be a month. We are living under the tyranny of hurry and rush and unrealistic expectations on so many levels in our lives. And we think we have to just keep going and doing for everything and for everybody, right? And we are allowing our own peace and well-being to be shoved to the wayside or pushed down to the bottom of the totem pole. And this is the season in midlife when our bodies and minds and spirits are changing, that we really need to give ourselves a moment, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe no social media for a couple of hours, maybe no phone conversations, maybe no email, maybe saying no to a few things and not yes to everything. Right? That this is the time for you to mind your mind during this mental health awareness month. Maybe go and talk to someone, and be okay if it's not the first one you talk to, and just keep going until you find that one person who resonates with you, that can hear you, that can also challenge you and push back on some of your reasoning or excuses, to help you to reflect and then rework the thoughts that you're having and the things that you're saying. But one of the creative ways you can just take a moment is to allow scents, SCENTS, to calm you, to bring clarity, to bring healing, right, to you in that moment. And of course, nothing we're sharing with you is going to fix everything. It is just a suggestion, right, for you to try some creative modalities. Take a walk, get out in nature, or take a moment to inhale a scent that may invigorate, reinvigorate, awaken you, or a scent that will calm you and allow you to get the rest that your mind and body needs. It's okay to take a moment. It's okay to flow with the way you are. There are seasons where you're going to have to press through, right? But we should not make that our continual mode of existence. You got to rest sometimes and take a moment. And so I'm encouraging you to do that in this Wednesday edition of Mondays in the Meditation Room with Dr. K. Take a deep breath in, y'all, and release it. Take a deep breath in and release it. And allow your body to come out of that fight and flight mode into a restorative healing mode, and give yourself permission to take a moment. Absolutely love y'all. Thank you for flowing with me as we flow. And I look forward to seeing you again as we gather in the meditation room. And do not forget, we are in general registration for the Serenity Experience, Well, Worthy, and Wealthy, an opportunity for women in midlife to gather together as we master our midlife, inner life, and we learn and love ourselves through this wonderful rite of passage. And I know you're like, wonderful. It has been upheaval. I know. Yeah. How we perceive it, how we decide to speak to ourselves through it matters. And we're gathering on Saturday, September 23rd at the Pearl Modern Spa and Boutique in Columbia, Maryland. I'm so excited about it. It is going to be that space and place that you and I both need to come together to get the wisdom and to insight, the laughter, the safe place, right, that we need to master this thing called midlife, and more importantly, our midlife inner life, y'all, to walk in the power and the comfort, the confidence that we need to master this time. So go ahead to enlightenwoman.global/serenity and register. You'll find more information there so that you can register. And I'm going to be putting more information on the website as the days and weeks come. Right, so we're in general registration. Grab a sister, y'all go ahead and register and come on. And if you decide to do VIP registration, that allows you to come on Friday night to what we're calling Happy Hormone Hour. Yes, I'm loving it. Emotions, hot flashes, libido. Oh my, it's just going to be a fun Friday night that we talk about the impact of our hormones, but we're going to do it in a fun way that only grown women can do. So once again, enlightenwoman.global/serenity, or just go to enlightenwoman.global and you'll see the buttons you can hit to get more information about the Serenity Experience and to register. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too, and will join me as we continue to, not just in May, but for the rest of our being, to mind our mind and use creative opportunities and modalities and ways to step out of the box to take care of our well-being. All right. Absolutely love y'all. Thank you for watching. Whenever you watch, drop me some comments and share, because we are a community of wise women learning from one another. All right. I'll see you next time in the room. Talk soon. Bye.